Hey guys, welcome to another exciting edition of the Overtime Sports Show. And we're feeling pretty good today. It's a great day. As you can see, G-Man is eating. He's in our
I'm eating
podcast room.
my cucumber with lime and tahini. You gotta have that Mexican sauce. You got that Mexican sauce.
Oh, I see.
You're gonna get low. Yeah.
It's
but I'm ready, man. Let's do this.
You said it's cucumbers and what? What was it?
Cucumber, lime, salt, and Mexican tahini. The tahini seasoning.
Oh, tahini. Is that pretty salty?
Put y'all boys on that, man.
I see you getting it in. We got a lot going on, man. Yeah. Of course, it's been a busy time. We just come off of the draft. We're gonna get at that today. Got a shout out to our boy Dusty Baker. He made history here in the city. The NBA playoffs is rolling. But G-Man, let's jump right in, man. Your boy, our boy, DeAndre Hopkins, suspended.
You know what? I'm telling everybody right now, it's something that he didn't know was in his body, although they always say you got to know what you put in your body. But there's so many things that the NFL bans, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now think about it. Hopkins has been an all-pro, all-world receiver for years. Mm-hmm. I really, truly believe that it was by accident or something that he didn't know. I don't think he did it on purpose. The man's balling already, you know what I'm saying? Balling.
And he's had a clean record. Let me just not say outstanding. He has a streaky clean record. He hadn't done a lot of bad things throughout his whole career. He was Mr. Dependable. It's just recently that we started seeing him getting injured because he usually would play through any injury he had. Of course, he set out probably the second half of the season last year, now suspended for PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs, for 6 games. And for me, when I saw it, man, I'm like you. I thought, probably something in the situation, in something that his trainer or doctors probably gave to him that he didn't know what they were giving to him, and now he's sitting here with this suspension.
And Carlton, what's up, Carlton? But I do know that every time you take some kind of a supplement or anything, the team doctor is supposed to know what you take. That way they don't know whether it's banned or not. So I don't know who dropped the ball on that. I for sure don't think. Well, I don't want to say for sure, but I just can't see D-Hop taking something to enhance. He's already an all-world receiver. I don't think he did that, but we'll see. But yeah, he only played 10 games last year. He's missing the first 6 this year. He can play preseason and be there for early workouts, but once that first regular season day starts, can't be in the locker room, you can't be in the building, nothing.
Yeah, and do you think it was a fair suspension? Because I'm under the thing that I don't think it was necessarily fair for D-Hop. I know the NFL has its standards, but I'm like, come on, man, it's the first time this guy's been in the league 10 years now, and here you go suspending D-Hop for using a little PED to help him. And like I know that you go through an entire NFL season. It's like being in a car wreck every week.
Every day. Yeah, every week. Yep.
Yeah.
20, 30 car wrecks a day on one day.
So, and if you're playing this long in the league, your body, I don't care who you are, your body is eventually going to break down. So I think on some of this stuff, and we did a poll, and I just think on some of this, man, we got to kind of bend. Remember Ray Rice, for the domestic violence, he got a 2-game suspension before his team cut him, but the league gave him a couple of game suspension. Yeah. I thought maybe 2, 2, maybe 4 games would have been okay.
Yeah, but the NFL does that, man. If you get popped the first time in 6 games, there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. I think with the Ray Rice situation too, that was not I want to say way back, but it wasn't as publicized as it is now. As far as, oh my God, if you punch somebody or you hit a domestic violence, and automatically look what Adrian Peterson, what he went through. Look what Kareem Hunt went through. You know what I mean? It's like they don't take that serious. They take that serious. Now it wasn't like before 2 games. Now it's like, okay, now teams are cutting you.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt was a very talented running back, got cut because of that little domestic violence incident that they caught on video.
And I was looking at our Overtime Sports poll that we had up. 67% said that they felt like the suspension for PEDs was too harsh. And, of course, 33% said no. And as you said, D-Hop came back. He apologized for it. 6 games. He'll serve that sentence and move on. for me, even though I know it's the NFL standard and rule, I'm just thinking for somebody who's been playing this long in the league, body beat up, man, get a man a break, couple of games, let him get back out there.
But unfortunately, man, that's the rule, man. You get caught with PEDs. It's 6 games off the rip. So and the crazy part about it could have been Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. They would have got the same 6 games. It's not like Now, if they would have gave him like a game, then it's a problem in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, if it would have been a Tom Brady situation, man, they'd have made an exception to the rule. I think
he may be the only player in NFL history that could probably get away with something like that.
Yeah, could get away with it. It'll be a whole march and everything else happening on. We want you guys to, as always, like, share, and comment. And your comments are valuable to the show. Thank you to everybody who participated in the poll. We appreciate that each and every week, you guys doing that. Now, G-Man, I hit you up a couple of days ago, and I said, G-Man, the draft is over with, and I think our Houston Texans deserve an A for the draft. I'm going all in. I'm diving in. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, G-Man. I can see the sun rising.
Now, okay, are you saying going all in because we won 4 games last year? Are we going to win more than 4 games this year?
G-Man, I hope we win 4 games again because I want that number 1 pick. We got 2 first-round picks next year.
I'll tell you what, Stingley, he was actually supposed to be, he could have been the number 1 player taken.
Yeah.
But he had a couple injuries at LSU. But he is a shutdown corner. Carlton says B+.
B+. Yeah, Carlton says I give him an A now. I didn't say A+.
I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't all invested this year because of what happened the last couple of years. I was kind of fed up, but I did watch it. Stingley was a good choice. I like the offensive tackle they took. I know they took a safety from Baylor.
Yeah, Kenyon Green, and then Jalen Petrie from Baylor, who's a bad boy. I think overall, my thing was you have a person like Stingley, and I know, we all a lot of people want to Sauce Gardner. Of course, we see him play all year for Cincinnati, and he's a great corner. I just think Derek Stingley's ceiling is a little bit more high, and we saw his performance at LSU, especially as a freshman. If he could have came out after his freshman year, I think he would have been another top 5 pick in the league. But of course, suffered, as you said, a couple of injuries these last couple of years. But he's still, to me, G-Man, he got a high ceiling, man.
Yeah, he comes from DBU. That's what they call it. LSU, the defensive backs and back. They churn them out like nothing, man. So he definitely comes from a conference where the play is. You got Alabama, all these,
every week.
All these teams that Clemson, but I'm saying like Alabama, but them type of teams, you know what I mean? Yeah, them type tier teams, man, and you playing them every week. And it's like playing in the NFL pretty much.
Yeah, I'm excited. And as you said, Kenyon Green right up the street, A&M. We needed a guard play now. I bought Howard could stay at right tackle. I think the offensive line is almost there. I think we're about 3/4 of the way from being solidified. And Petrie, and of course, here's a person to keep your eye on. John Mitri, the receiver out of Alabama. He's gonna be a beast. Woo! So overall, for me, I think
him in the national championship game. He caught a touchdown. I like the pick. I'm surprised he was still there where he was when he was drafted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, injuries. People taking a chance. Of course, he's coming off the ACL, and he says he's going to be ready by the summertime. He says he's going to be good to go by the summer. We'll see. I'm sure they're slow playing back on the field because we want him for the long run and not trying to run him in the ground. But as Carter said, we picked up a lot of players from the hometown. Our GM said it wasn't playing like that. It's just we got a lot of SEC players who happen to be from Texas. G-Man, if we can keep them at home in Houston, I can see some great things with the Cougars in the future. We can keep these boys at home. But hey, I'm glad that they're back, playing for the Texans. So what grade would you give them, bro? How did you feel about it? 'Cause like I said, I'm diving in on the draft picks now. Of course, it's gonna take a couple of years for them to do their thing.
I'm not gonna be like Carlton who said B+. I would have. I'm more like maybe an A-, maybe.
Okay.
Because I have to, like you said, with the injury, Stingley. They were saying a lot about his performance decline or whatever. But he did deal with some injuries too. So I'm gonna say an A-. I still think we're still about maybe 2 years away, maybe from competing again for the division title.
Yeah.
I think next year, I think we win more than 4 games. I say we win 6 games next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping, man. I don't want to mess up. I want to still have that top 1, 2, or 3 pick.
But
so
Davis Mills plays the way he played the second half of the last 5 games of the season, where he started to show some promise and managing the game and knowing where to throw the ball and being accurate. If he can keep doing that and build on that, I think he's going to be a nice player. He's not going to be Deshaun Watson, but
no.
I mean, he could be. I don't want to say they're totally 2 different players, but I mean, he could be a game manager. He could be in the pocket passer like a Tom Brady. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how he does in year 2.
Yeah, I'm like, I keep my eye, like I said, keep your eye on Stingley, keep your eye on Michi. I think they will be 2 impact players as we go into this next season with the Houston Texans. Just stay within that top 5 pick. That's all I ask you, man. I just want them to stay within that top 5 pick. Don't blow it.
H-Town love.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And of course, we saw Howard was able to get an increase in pay, an extension. They picked up his option for the 5th year, so I'm excited about that. Titus Howard is going to be a Texan.
He was good
for a long time. Now, your boy cried his way out of the city. Lonnie Johnson Jr. Can you believe he asked for a trade?
I mean, I don't want to say he was never one of my favorite players.
Man. Say it.
When they first started putting him in the lineup, I'm like, why? We were thin. We didn't have no really good play. We was thin. I like King, but Lonnie Johnson. I mean, I guess he played better last year than he did the year before. I guess.
Yeah, and they kept moving him. Safety to corner, cornerback to safety. Yeah. He's a victim of being under the system of O'Brien, and then they was trying to find a spot for him. I didn't think he was going to ask for a trade, but I know I thought probably on the depth chart this year he would probably been the 4th corner.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Nelson. He's a Darrell Revis,
No,
asking for a trade.
He think he is now. He think he is. He thinking like for him, he like I got a new start in Kansas City. What is he? 6'2", 6'3", and big boy for a cornerback. But like they said, he couldn't his movement, man. He couldn't move his hips like he needed to on the receivers, and just couldn't find a place for him. Wish him well. We traded him for a conditional 7th round pick that if he makes the team, if he don't, then oh well. We'll definitely move on. Let's get into our NBA Minute, brought to us by our good friends at Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. And, of course, NBA playoffs, man, it's pretty busy. How you feeling about it so far?
Man, me and the pimp, my partner JQ, was talking about the Sixers and how Harden, I don't want to say laid an egg, but he did what Harden does in the playoffs. He didn't really show up and do what he does in the regular season. Now, do I take one game as like, oh my, he's gonna the whole series? No, I think he bounces back. But man, Miami playing out their minds right now, bro.
Yeah, it's tough without Joe Embiid, man. It's tough.
Yeah, he can't do it alone. But Doc said that he's getting better. He don't know if he's coming back, this next game, but he's getting better.
Well, they need him because Doc messed up by keeping him late in the game, and then the injury happened. That's what seems like it always happens in a playoff game, man. When you're not pulling your players, you pretty much got the game in hand.
They had a big lead.
Yeah,
and Doc's excuse was what everybody does. Every team does it. They keep the starters in there for up until like the 3 or 4 minute mark of the game. Man, you were up big time, fool. Why would you even risk that? It always happens. If you go back in history, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, always in the last minute, championship game or NCAA, somebody tears an ACL who's supposed to be a number 1 pick. I mean, I've seen it over and over again. I would have took his ass out. I said, you know what, bro? Go ahead. We're up big. Chill.
Hindsight is 20/20, as they say now, as we see it. Shout out to the Phoenix Suns. I'm not buying Dallas at all. You know how I am about Dallas. And but Phoenix, Chris Paul, I'm hoping he can get a chance to make it back to the finals. Of course, they're leading that series. And then Morant, man, 47 points. Ooh, game 2.
They should have been up 2-0 if he didn't miss that layup in the very last second. I mean, he had a good look. He had a good look too, but they should have been up 2-0, man. So that's going to be a good series to watch. Me and we were talking about the other day. If the Grizzlies tie that up at 1-1, that could go down to a 6-game for sure. I think they're going 6 games for sure. I think it's going 6 games.
Yeah,
could be a 7-game.
Don't underestimate Memphis, man. Memphis is a fourth quarter team. As we see, they seem to turn it on in the fourth quarter. And like you said, they should have been up 2-0, but it's the playoff series, man. We'll see who's able to make an adjustment. And then the Celtics, they blew out Milwaukee, man, in game 2.
Yeah, Celtics look like they caught fire. You know, they look good against the Nets.
Yeah.
So. Man, I can't count them out, man. I think the Celtics are going to be, I don't want to say the sleeper team, but if you had to pick somebody who you didn't have up there, I'd have to go with the Celtics.
Yeah, a lot of people across the country are picking Boston to go. And especially now, we don't know with the status of Joel Embiid. We don't know if he's going to come back. We don't know what's going to happen with him. And Harden is doing hard things right now.
Yeah. I think if the Sixers would have won game 1, I think they would have probably set him for sure game 2. But now you're down 0-1. I mean, if you go down to 0-2 to Miami,
it's tough. And I'm enjoying the playoff series. You know, there's no KD, no LeBron, no Houston Rockets. I know I'm just kidding, but I'm enjoying this series, and I think the league, as we look overall, is in good hands. As we see it in Boston, what Boston is doing, of course, what Memphis is doing. Dallas is surprising to a lot of people. So I just think overall the future of the league is in good hands. As soon as the Rockets get in order, I think we got a lot of young horses that's going to do a lot of great things in the future. How do you feel about the league, man?
It's kind of one of them things. Like, I didn't really pay attention as much this year, only because, the Rockets weren't, the normal Rockets that I'm used to for the last, 5, 6, 7 years. But, man, I don't know. I do think the Rockets are going to be good. As far as the league as a whole, I mean, I just don't like these ticky-tack suspensions and fines.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm used to the Kurt Rambis fighting Kevin McHale, and back in the day throwing, Hakeem Olajuwon throwing. That's what I was used to. Watching as a kid, like, man, you had to fight in the playoff game. You didn't get punched by Ralph Sampson or something,
Yeah, they waving at people now. It's fans.
Yeah, you just touch somebody, it's like flagrant foul, like the one against Draymond Green. I don't think he yanked his jersey like to hurt the guy, but it was a foul. Yeah. He didn't want to score a bucket, but what do? You let him score the bucket?
Yeah.
And one.
Yeah, and they wanted, they didn't take back the flagrant foul on him as well, man. So just the NBA playoffs, I'm excited to see who comes out of this is going to be good. Man, we got to keep at the forefront of our conversation always as we do this each week until she come home. I'm excited that the WNBA is going to honor Brittany Griner with the decal during the season. But as the president, Biden has said, man, it's like they're doing too much now with holding Brittany overseas. Now, come on, man.
Yeah, I know they
bring Brittany home.
I know they just they hired somebody who's worked,
the negotiation.
Yeah, the negotiations. Yeah. He came on last week and agreed to do it, to negotiate, and he's pretty good. I heard from what I hear. So she's been down there. But man, it goes back to what we talked about a long time ago. You can find vape pens and vape cartridges all over the United States. Mm-hmm. Why would you want to bring that back from Russia?
Yeah.
Why would you even take a chance? Like,
especially in Russia.
Yeah. So, and you can get these cartridges for $35. Not that I know, but like $35, a cartridge. Yeah. But you get caught with a couple cartridges. That's like 15 years in Russia, bro.
Woo. It's like
I wouldn't even rip, man.
Yeah. And we got to get over it. I'm glad that a lot of our political leaders are putting pressure and keeping pressure on our government to do everything that they can to bring it home. And it's a crazy time because you got the whole Russia-Ukraine situation happening, and Russia is, the way that they are mad at the United States for how they feel like we're interfering in that battle, and which we should. But at the same time, you're trying to negotiate to get Brittany home, and it's just tough, man. It was, as you just stated, the worst time for her to do this,
man. And right on the brink of Russia about to invade Ukraine. And people were saying that she could have been actually in there a week or two before we even found out that she was locked up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Now, would this happen if it was KD or LeBron? You know, I hate to say that. I hate to say that. No, I think it's all equal. But man, if LeBron James is in a prison or in jail in Russia, I would have to think that they'd have been moving on it faster.
Yeah, and I'm sure probably
Michael Jordan or somebody like that. I think
Yeah, probably former President Trump would have probably got involved. Since he's got this great relationship with Putin, bring him on home. Man, we got a shout out to our boy. We want to definitely bring Brittany home. That's our NBA minute. Powered by good friends at Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. You know what to do with Hennessy. You know what time it is. Man, we got a shout out to our boys. We're avid fans of our Houston Astros, and Dusty Baker picked up his 2000 win as a Major League Baseball manager, the first African-American manager to win 2,000 games. So shout out to Dusty and the Astros.
I believe only the 12th manager overall to win 2,000 games. First African-American and 12th overall. I mean, think about it, man. You think 2,000 games? He could have actually broke that probably last year because you go through a season game you should have won. He should have broke this record maybe a couple of weeks ago. But the Astros took a little. But you know what? I like Dusty, man. I've always liked Dusty.
Yeah.
He's a player's coach.
He's winning. Yeah, he's winning.
Man, you know what? People say he needs to win a World Series to be in the Hall.
I agree.
I don't think he needs to win a World Series, but he's a Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, here's a man. Even though, like you said, he has not won the big game yet. How many times has he been to the World Series? And a lot of managers never get to that point. Here's this man being able to come with a team that was gifted. Of course, we know we had a good team because we'd already been to the World Series. But just because you inherit a good team don't mean that you can take the team back to the top. Because you could be you could be a Bill O'Brien and destroy a team.
Don't remind me.
I'm sorry.
Don't remind me about old Billy.
I apologize. So for him to be able to maintain our squad, and even like now, people are getting frustrated. G-Man, you know this. People are getting frustrated because the Astros are off to a slow start again. But how many times have we done this?
It's all the time. That's But you know what? I am so freaking hyped about is Jeremy Pena.
Woo, bad boy.
I know I do it because every day I go into stats. I look at his and I go to Carlos Correa.
Yeah,
he's smashing Carlos Correa on home run. I think Carlos Correa had one home run as of yesterday. I don't think he hit one today or yesterday. He had one home run. Jeremy Pena's got 4 or 5 already.
Yep.
He's batting the same average as Correa. Correa's like at 250. I think Jeremy Pena's like 240, somewhere around there. His glove has been the same as Carlos Correa's glove.
Yep.
And the dude is younger. I can see why when they were saying Correa was saying, "Oh, well, the Astros started ghosting me at the end." Yep. I can see why they was ghosting him. They're like, "Do we want to pay this dude $38 million a year, or give Jeremy Pena whatever he's making, probably $1 million or less?"
Yeah,
and producing better, younger, great defensive skills like Correa. Obviously, Correa's going to turn on during the year. He's going to hit his home runs. He's going to get, but he was never really a 40 home run hitter or a 35 home run hitter. He would hit 25, home runs. So I don't see him hitting 45 home runs or anything like that. But I see Pena at least hitting 20 home runs or around that. And that for a shortstop, that's big, bro.
That's big, yeah. And like you said, with his combination, Altuve got a homer last night. Alvarez has been hot.
Fire.
Yeah. So you imagine this young core. Tucker bat is starting to come alive now. So you imagine this young core that we have, man. We're gonna be all right.
Tucker was batting 139 last week.
Right.
A week and a half ago, when he turned it on the last week, he's batting already. He's back up to 250. He'd normally be around the 300 range, but you got to think, man, he started off really slow.
Yeah.
I think he was batting 130 or something like that.
They wanted to get rid of him. Every year they want to get rid of him.
Man, but he comes on. I like Tucker, bro. I do.
Me too. I just like our squad overall. I know we got some hitters. I like with our Maldonado, our catcher. He's not going to do anything batting wise. But I mean, he's a great catcher, so we just put up with it. And I think I like Siri, McCormick.
I like Siri's swag. I like the swag that Siri brings. But Carlton, you're right, man. I tell people all the time, you don't win the World Series in April, May.
In April, man. Yeah.
You don't win the World Series then. But I tell you what, I think boys are gonna be scared when they say the Astros are in the playoffs again, or if they're a wild card team, or if they win the division. Boys know Astros are coming.
We coming, yeah. And Lance McCullers today, he was out throwing. He's been throwing a little bit in the outfield, about 75 yards. So my thing is, even with him, I'm not trying to rush him back because I know the nature of his injury. But even, sometime toward the end of the summer, I don't want to rush him back. I just want to, come August, September, even August, late August, early September. If that's what's necessary to bring him back then. Don't rush it because I don't want to hurt him for the long run.
I'm kind of glad too because I almost drank myself to death because Oda Rizzi was driving me to drink.
And you saw the other night. You got to give it to him though.
So when he pitched the other day when they first wore their the City Connect jerseys last week or a week and a half ago at home, first time he got blitzed for like 6 runs in less than 1 inning, and people was calling him out on Twitter, man. They was like, "Get rid of this fool." Yeah. And then he goes to Texas and puts on a good show. And then he comes in. Was it last night or the night before?
Night before.
And another stellar outing. People was calling for his head, man. So I hope he's turned it around because without Lance McCullers, I was ready to, man, I was about to go drinking though. Again, I said, but every time he pitches, I got me a bottle of Hennessy or something right next to me, bro. And I'm like, Lord.
All I'm gonna say, G-Man, take it game by game. That's it. Just take it. With no reason, just go game by game, bro. Don't, we ain't gonna get too high.
I try not to get too high right now because I'm a big Astro fan. I got that tattoo, Astro. But man, it drives me crazy. Slow. But I keep telling myself, just wait till September. Wait till we get close to October. That's when it matters.
Yeah. Well, man, we covered a lot today, and I think we dropped the hat right there. G-Man, let everybody know how they can keep up with you, bro.
Oh man, you already know Gman979 on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. What am I missing? Snapchat, and then my new YouTube channel.
Podcast, YouTube.
It's a G's World. It's a G's World on YouTube. So y'all go to there and subscribe to your boy. And So, and I'm also leaving on vacation tomorrow, so I'll be on a Carnival cruise heading to Cozumel tomorrow for Cinco de Mayo. So normally I'd be here turning up, but I'm heading to Cozumel on a cruise. So wish you luck. Oh yeah, I'm in like playing. Yeah,
juiced up.
I'm not boosted up, but I'm vaccinated.
Okay. All right. Follow me in faith.
I need to get the booster. But
follow me in Faith and Fame with AV, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, podcast, the whole 9 yards, YouTube as well. And then, of course, Magic 102.1 and Praise 92.1. Appreciate everybody. Avery, appreciate you holding it down on the backside for us. We're back every week, 5 p.m. on Wednesdays with the Overtime Sports Show, all brought to you by Hennessy. G-Man, dance us out, baby.
This will kill all viruses, y'all.
Yeah, that boy eating. What is it again?
Tahini.
Tahini. Yeah, that. Tahini.
Lime. Salt and cucumber.
Cucumber. You probably got a little whiskey in there. We out, y'all.